I didn't want to have to make this video, but it looks like I got to. It's getting too crazy out there. There's violence, rioting, hardly any peaceful protesting. I know I did air quotes and it's kind of lame, but I don't care. It's There's too much violence out there going on. It's too much nonsense. Too much crime, too much death. I drove past a hospital on my way home, finding a large group of people. Apparently, a 7-year-old kid was shot point blank in the head, critical condition. Thoughts and prayers, hopes he makes it. And I just want to know why. Why are we doing all of this? This isn't protesting. This is straight up rioting. This is self-destruction, madness. And how it's self-destructing madness is because people claim they're protesting, but they don't know what they're protesting about. They don't know what this is really about. Because it stopped being about George Floyd months ago. It stopped being about Black Lives Matter when the moment black people left and right were being killed by fellow blacks. And what really shocked and got my nerves really irking was the conversation that happened between Terry Crews and Don Lemon. That the Black Lives Matter movement is not for, the black on black crime or all the other stuff that's killing us. It's just only for police brutality. Police brutality affects everyone, not just black people. And it's only like around between, I would say, 10 to 15% of what's killing black people. I'm like, I still have my opinions about, police needing to be reformed, re-educated, or if they can't, create a new department that involves enforcing police policy standards that prevents police from making up laws, that prevent a department that prevents police from taking a law-abiding citizen's firearm, making sure a police officer doesn't enter someone's private property without warrants or probable cause or without consent. That's what I've always advocated for and thought and believed. Not abolishment, not defunding. Because what good is defunding or abolishing police when we go right back to square one demanding where are the police? This happened before. This happened, I believe, during the birth of Black Lives Matter, where everyone was saying, abolish the police. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them? Now. The moment police went away, within another 2 to 3 months, people were saying, where are the police? We need the police. We want the police. And history is repeating itself. I'm serious, this video is really hard as an African American black man to say, why are we going out here saying Black Lives Matter, but when it comes to black children, black families being victimized by black on black crime far more than some white guy with a gun who hates my skin color, or far more than some God complex guy with a badge. I mean, like, hell, they burned down a Wendy's due to the fact that a guy overpowered two officers, took their weapon, and shot at them. What's going on here? I might get some criticisms of this video. If I do, so be it. I'm open for criticism. But for those that would dare try to silence this video, for those that would dare try to prevent this video from reaching other people's eyes and ears that would agree or respectfully disagree, or would think of alternate options, why? That's what I ask. Why? Why would you try to silence me on this? Because we need to really talk about this. We need to go back to peaceful protesting. We need to stop these riotings. We need to stop. We need to get back on track. Because all this rioting and this violence, it does nothing good for us. Because I fear that history may repeat itself even further. I'm fearing that we might have another civil war where it will be liberals and conservatives versus far left loonies. Because that's who's out here doing all this. These far left loonies. It ain't true liberals. It ain't true conservatives. We might have some far right or alt right not crazies out here. And if that's the case, it'll be liberals and conservatives versus far and alt right and far left. But I guess my biggest question is, what is wrong with All Lives Matter? Because if the Black Lives Matter ain't gonna talk about our children dying, our parents being killed right in front of their children, people being attacked, beaten, assaulted, and the perpetrators just laughing about it, stealing from another black business or a black family and smiling and laughing about it, coming inside another black family's home and causing such pain and chaos. If the Black Lives Matter movement is not going to speak about these things, then what's wrong with All Lives Matter? I mean, like they said, all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter. But if Black Lives Matter ain't going to talk about, the violence, the death, then how can we move forward? I mean, like, even the family of George Floyd said, no, this is not the right way. No, this is not what we wanted. We wanted justice. We're getting it, slowly but surely. And we wanted to keep it a peaceful protest. We didn't want to riot. Even they said they wanted peaceful protesting. Even they said they wanted to get justice, not to riot. And to give a shout out to Tim Pool, which is that he is right about one thing. They keep on voting for people who are doing nothing, and it really scares me. It really gets to me because when I saw that AOC was leading the primary after she cost her district and I guess her city, you know, I believe 25,000 in jobs, hundreds of thousands in taxes to do some to get their city cleaned and fixed up. They want to try again with her after the nonsense she's done. They want to really try again. Now I'm hoping that that's all she's ever going to get when it comes to the real election. Just those 55,000 people or less. Because I truly, truly am praying for the people in her district. And what I'm also truly praying for is my fellow African American black out here. That we must be better, we must do better in order to move forward. Same goes for our police. They must be better and they must do better to earn back our trust. Because even I don't have a 100% trust with police officers. I'll ask questions. I'll keep things, not everything, to myself. I will always have that on guard suspicion until we get a better system, until our trust is brought back to 100%. We need unity, not division and chaos. We need to focus on our principles, not a narrative. Attacking people based solely on the color of their skin don't make you right. It doesn't solve the problem. It only amplifies the problem. Following narratives when there are facts out here that tell you otherwise, or there are people out here that have had different experience, that are not white, that are successful, that are safe, that are happy. Who can say, I've lived this life, and while this didn't happen to them, or they've never experienced, certain things, I believe they still have a say. I mean, take this story from a friend, for example. He was pulled over. He's black, by the way. He was pulled over by a cop for not having his headlights on. He didn't have his sticker on his windshield, and he could have gotten a $200 ticket for that, but the cop just let him off with a warning, told him to turn his headlights on because, he didn't have them on, and told him to have a nice night. Nothing happened. He was compliant, calm, cool, collected. And I compare that story to someone who was very combatant and insubordinate to a cop, who was telling her child in the back seat, if you ever run into police, you fight them. How long is this video been going? Okay. And I'm saying to myself, what? Why would you tell your kid to start a fight with police rather than know your laws, know your rights, and peacefully, calmly, cool, collectively challenge an officer? If you know your rights, you know your Constitution, if you know the law that protects you to say whatever you want to say in public, to film peacefully without being hassled, to open carry your firearm without them trying to confiscate or take it, then by all means express your rights. Because here's a funny thing: all those First Amendment and Second Amendment, and those that support the Fifth Amendment and the Fourth Amendment, they were warning us of this. They were really warning us of an incident that would happen, of the George Floyd incident. But their warnings, I fear, fell on deaf ears. It was liberals and conservatives who were doing these protests, because there were those who loved the free speech, the First Amendment. There were those who loved to open carry and open carry states. There were those who loved their right to privacy, to not let anyone come in their homes without consent. And they protested. They protested in support of these constitutional rights and these laws, but I fear that it fell, like I said before, on deaf ears. And this is what we got. And I fear that when November hits, however we're voting, people will make the hashtag you made me vote for Trump. Because we had people that could have beaten Trump, that could have wiped the floor with Trump. But the left got rid of them, calling them Russian assets, secret supporters of Trump, alt-right, or whatever type of names they were calling them. They had people that could have beaten Trump in the Democratic Party, but they got rid of them. And we might have to wait for 2024. Hope and pray that these leftist loonies are finally behind bars and away, and that we finally have peace, calm, prosperity, and order. Because all these riots, these aren't protests. These aren't demonstrators. These are rioters. This is rioting. This is looting. This is crime. It ain't helping us fix the COVID. It ain't helping us keep the peace. It ain't helping us get what we want. All this is going to eventually do is spark a huge friction and create another civil war. So please, I am begging everyone to please stop. If you want to have a protest in defense of the Constitution. If you think that you should really burn the Constitution, then you don't know the Constitution. I've read the Constitution. I've studied it, and I've realized that all these videos of police officers doing X, Y, and Z was in violation of the Constitution. It was in violation of the laws, violation of their policies. If you want to go there, no. The Constitution did not protect officers who broke the law or went against their policy. They violated the Constitution. So that's why I say protest in defense of it rather than against it. And another thing, while I do support peaceful protesting, I say leave it out of places where people are going to Nazi politics, like the NFL or the NBA. We all saw ratings tank. And to those athletes, look, I say this. You have a huge, huge following. All you gotta do is get on Twitter, say, we're gonna do our peaceful protest here or in my hometown or over there. And I'm 100% sure people will get by you, stand with you, and support and protest peacefully. You don't have to do it on the court or on the field. With your following and your fans and your support, you could basically do it in a park, do it in a neighborhood, your neighborhood, or people who have been victimized in their neighborhood. Trust and believe, you'll get better results. And you might even get higher ratings if you do it like that, in my opinion. But that's all I have to say. This has been one hell of a difficult video to make out of fear of retaliation, fear of being doxxed, fear of being attacked, fear of the worst happening to my family, friends, because I've seen what the left can do. And here's something for Tim Pool. Tim, I came out and spoke my mind. I spoke and said, I'm not liking this. I don't want this. This is what I really want. I want real peaceful protest. I want the violence to stop. I want the deaths to stop. I want police reform. I want a department that enforces police policy and standards. A department that is all about the law, U.S. Constitution, and city and state laws and rights. And I want it to be a law for officers to identify themselves. I want to abolish stop and ID in any city or state. And I also want, to, well, on a side note, what I would really want is to not work 2 to 3 jobs. Because yeah, I know that old paycheck to paycheck, but thankfully I now just work the one job. After all that hard work, finally getting where I am, getting my dream car, getting my dream house. Hard work and dedication does work. Capitalism does work. You just gotta know how to use capitalism. And for those that don't understand it, what capitalism is or how it works, or are mixing socialism with capitalism, here's an example. Let's say you work a job every week, and you get paid every week. Every week, you get $1,200. Or, every 2 weeks, you get $1,200. That's not enough for you. And you work 40 hours a week. You can work 60 to 80 hours during those 2 weeks and come home with probably $2,000 to be able to pay bills and mortgage or rent. That's because that 2,000 comes from the extra hours of overtime, if the opportunity, the equal opportunity of going to other places that will allow you to take more hours, work more jobs with better benefits or no benefits for better pay. And this is socialism. So in socialism, you get paid $1,500 every 2 weeks. But no matter how many hours you work, you can work less and still get paid $1,500. Instead, you work 20 hours a week and you're getting paid $1,500, and you say that's not enough. Even if you were to work 40 or 60 hours within that week, you would still only get paid 15, because everyone's getting paid $1,500. That's how socialism works. Everyone gets the same, but not everyone makes the same choices. This has been a long video. I'm Taven Sai. Please be safe, be happy, be peaceful. Thank you.